Okay, so I'm gonna give you 4 things that you kind of gotta consider if you're planning to get bars. And here's my 2005 Roll King Classic, my Cholo build that I've been working on it little by little with my 21 16-inch bars, little fishtails back there. I love this bike. This is like my bike that I take around the town, the city. When I go here and there, I usually bring this bike with me. It's a lot of fun to ride. To tell you the truth, I do prefer my Road Glide a lot better because it's more easier to ride, and maybe I'll leave that to a different video, but I love my Road Glide too. But anyways, I bring my Cholo bike all the time out, and I got some bars here, and this is from Burley. I tell you what, if I could go back in time, I probably would go with different bars. Nothing to do with these bars at all. I think I love these bars, but I feel like there's other bars out there that give you a little bit better look of a Cholo bike. But anyways, I got this ones now. If I decide to change them, I already have the cable, so it shouldn't be that difficult. But here's a couple things that I'm going to tell you you actually have to consider. And the first thing is going to be the high. And horrible day to do this video because the bike is super dirty. But the high is going to be very important because essentially you want to be comfortable, right? So again, when you're sitting in the bike, how you pull your arms like this, if you like this, you know, it could be illegal by the way, but if you're down here, you have to lean forward. Whatever the position got to be really good to you. And again, that's going to be a personal thing because what's good for you probably is not going to be for me. In my case right here, 16-inch bars are really fantastic and they fit me pretty well. In fact, when I sit right here and I got the bars right here, I'm very comfortable. Keep in mind too that the saddle could make it different as well. A saddle could bring you down 1 inch or 2 inches. Some saddles could bring you down, some saddles could bring you up. So you get the perfect bars and then you change your saddle, you may have an issue. Like this saddle here from Saddle Man, I think that it raises you up about 1 inch or so. I can't remember now, but it did brought me up and it kind of pushed me forward a little bit. So definitely change the position on the bars. Obviously, you got some adjustments here. You could go back and forward as well. So again, if anything happened with the saddle, you should be able to fix that. One thing that a lot of people do that I've seen people do this is that they sit down in the saddle and then they bring the arms like this, right? And then they get a tape measure and they measure from here all the way to wherever your arms are. And that could be the side that you need. One tip that I would tell you, I actually saw this for another YouTube channel, is that some bars classify their sizes differently. So what could be 16-inch for this company, it may not be 16-inch for another company. So I know it's kind of difficult, but keep that in mind as well. So again, the high is going to be super important in my opinion. The other thing that is going to be super important too is going to be the thickness right here. So essentially these bars are 1 1/4 inches. So for example, in my Road Glide, I hate those bars because they are 1 inch. And the issue there is that the cables cannot be put inside. So you're going to have a bunch of cables showing. Again, it looks nasty. It doesn't look good at all. I do want to change it just because of the cable. When you have bars that are now 1 inch and 1 1/4 inches or 1.5 inches, again, you could have a cleaner look and it just looks better. Like for example, all you see right here is going to be the clutch cable. You don't see nothing else. If you come down here, once again, you don't see none of the cables from the controllers or anything like that in here. You don't see none of the cables or anything. All you see is the bar, you see the brake line, and you see the throttle lines as well. So again, it makes it look a lot cleaner, and all has to do with the thickness. The thicker that they are, if they're thick enough, you can put the cables in the inside. If they're not, you're gonna have to have it on the outside and it's gonna look nasty. Okay, number 3 is gonna be the design. I know I kind of talked about this at the beginning, but the design has a lot to do because it gives the look to the motorcycle, right? Like if you want to go for a Cholo bike, there are some bars out there that are really part of that V-Class Cholo community, and there's some other bars that don't really do it, right? So again, the design of the bar is gonna make the bike look specifically how you want it. So don't kind of discard the design. There are some bars out there that have little peaks. There's some bars out there that are just like kind of like rounded. There's bars out there that have different designs, and that's kind of important. And if I show you this right here, this is a Roll King Classic. These bars are very like normal. You see the turns and all that just like this. And if you look at this, I mean, it's kind of like the same right here. So it kind of fits with the design of the bike in a way. Look at this over here. Somebody's having a party, like a really good party. Lots of beer. There's the bike. All right, so I talked about the design. I talked about the size. I talked about the thickness. The last thing that I'm going to tell you is the pullback. So the pullback is going to be this. And you kind of going to see it right here. So essentially the bars are going to go up, as you can see right here, straight. And then they're going to turn. You can kind of see the turn right here, how it's coming towards you. And the reason that it's important is because it's going to position your wrist at a specific way, right? So if you have no pullback or if you got it straight going this way, your wrist is going to be like this, right? But if it comes a little bit this way, now you're turning your wrist a little bit, right? So again, gotta be careful with that, because some of the bars have like a really extreme pullback, and then you're kind of gonna find yourself doing one of this where your wrists are like this. Could be very, very uncomfortable for some people. So you can see kind of like the pullback, how they come back, right? And then you can see kind of like the way that my wrist is set up right there. So again, high pullback is kind of important as well. So anyways, those are some things that I was thinking about. You know, it's not the only things. I'm sure some people will put comments and, you know, add up more information to it. If you have comments, definitely put it down below. And as always, God is in control.